Oh, I thought there'd be a countdown or something. You ever make an entrance into a room and it's anticlimactic? I always wish there was theme music when you entered a room. So I would 100% it would be DMX X is going to give it to you as I walk into a room. Or it would be I think it's chain smokers. I walk into a room and everybody hates me. That would be my theme song. What would your guys's be? Monster. It's what's for breakfast. So we're gonna have an hour-long chat this morning. I got a couple topics in mind. Gonna go through the chat. So if you're in there, that's good. But good morning for those people in the Western Hemisphere. Good morning, happy Sunday. Thank you to all the veterans. Yesterday was Veterans Day. If you're from outside the U.S., time to celebrate those people that sacrificed a lot. I'm like reading your comments, but I don't want to read your comments because I want to come back to them later. So I promise I'll come back to your comments. But yeah, I'm excited. It's Sunday. It's been a busy fucking weekend. It's going to be a busy fucking Sunday. That's why we're keeping the chat to an hour. Lots of shit to do today. And lots of stuff to do this week. I'm traveling the next 4 fucking weeks every week. So a lot going on. Yeah, excited to be here though. Yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I saw that one, Nelson. I got you. But so yeah, we're going to talk collectible. We're going to talk some other stuff. We'll answer some questions for you. And when I say we, I mean me and my multiple personality. Mrs. X doesn't want to be on. She's actually boxing up statues for the next for sale. That's what a great wife Mrs. X is. But yeah. Look at that. Hey man, what are you doing?
Yo, what's going on?
So this is kind of awkward. You know, like you obviously don't watch my channel, do you? I'm live right now.
Every video.
I'm live right now, you fucking liar.
You're live.
I'm live.
You know, I think your live would be a lot better if I was on live.
All right.
Yo, what up?
Hey,
of course I watch the channel, man.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
No, they're already starting to post the members are posting the emoji gems that have a cross through them.
That was such a foul move on that emoji, man. That was what, 2020 when you made that?
That was a while ago. Yeah, that was clever in my opinion. So
that was clever. You know, it's interesting. We'll talk about that emoji later on in the show, but it's interesting how things come full circle, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, let me just give the preface about the emoji that from 4 years ago or 3 years ago. So if you guys don't know, YouTube channels have memberships. Gems has one. By the way, this is Gem Mint Collectibles. If you don't know, which
well, it's Mr. Mint to you.
Mr. Mint. So, oh, from the Mr.
Well,
X,
since you're Mr. X, if I have to call you by your surname, you got to use mine.
All right, that's fair. Speaking of which, God, I got like 50 topics all of a sudden. So a few years, if you have a YouTube channel, you can get members. And the members get few special benefits depending on your tiers. And one of the things is you have special emojis the YouTube creator creates for you. And one of the emojis that my members can do is create a gem with a like a no smoking sign through it, just a kind of an FU to gem.
StreamYard, when you click on it, doesn't show it. That's what I always hated about StreamYard.
Yeah, absolutely. So question for you, and we got a lot of people in the chat. I was just talking about before you called, if you had a theme song you could walk into the room, what would it be? Mine,
man.
DMX X gonna give it to you.
That's a good one, man. But see, I'm always like, right now I'm really feeling a certain song, and I used it for an Instagram post recently. But that Duffel Bag Boy, man, I'll come out to that Duffel Bag Boy Players Circle. I don't know if you're familiar with that song.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So
I also like I forget who sings it. It's I walk into the club and everybody hates me.
Yeah, there's a lot that I could use. It would depend on my mood. It would depend on the scenario. You know what I'm saying? What's the situation? Do we got to get hype?
I hear you. I need to see if the DMX X is going to give it to you has copyright strikes. Otherwise, I'll put it in my permanent intro.
Yeah, I would think so. Sometimes you just have to try it out and upload the video unlisted, right, to see if they're going to snag you.
All the time. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you never like when you're questioning one, you know this. You don't delete your draft because you might have to go back and edit it.
Yeah, the other day I did a video on like the Batmobile with Batman, and I had the theme song in the background because in my mind I was like, I'm pretty sure I used this for a background track before, and I did it, and sure enough, boom, it hit me right away. So I was like, all right, we got to switch up the background music, I guess.
The weird thing is though, like I can't take a Marvel movie and throw it on here. Well, I can't do Marvel, but like I can't take a Universal movie and throw it on here. But if it shows me reacting to it, it's fine.
Yeah, fair use.
Then it's not copyright. But Marvel,
there was a few trailer reactions that I got copyright strikes on, and I would challenge it, and they would rule in my favor. And I was like, oh shit, the system works.
I think I told you I had a serious not copyright strike. I had an infringement on YouTube during the pandemic.
Oh yeah,
because to members only. I did a vlog on my opinion, and I've said this is my opinion about what's going on. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that I'm a doctor. And they got me for spreading misinformation.
Dang.
And they said if I do it again, my channel's suspended.
You know what else happened? I think I got hit on something like that too, and it was like a private video. It wasn't even a public video. Something, yeah, it was weird.
But anyway, hey, let's check out the chat. Welcome, Mr. Mint, or Mr. M, as somebody said.
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense, right? Oh, this is like kind of nice, blown up.
Blown up. A lot of people, not a lot of people on, but
we didn't plan to both wear Venom sweaters.
We didn't. Yeah, I'm actually doing a review for a custom piece. Hopefully this doesn't unplug. Oh,
you gotta maybe zoom us out again, right?
That'll be the teaser. Oh yeah, zooming it out, that would have worked. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun. We shoot the shit, talk to you guys in the chat, see what's going on. Jay Presidential, big backer of his faith. Super heroine is here. Javier, yo,
yes,
nice guy. You know, I always wonder when you create your name on YouTube or Gmail, how long have you had that? Have you ever considered buying a replica Batmobile? So Mrs. X is right over there. She can hear me because she's boxing up statues. Can we buy a replica Batmobile? No. Well, I've considered it, but Mark's here. What's up, Mark? Good morning. Uncarded reviews. Jem's paying attention. He's sharing this on his.
Yeah, I'm sharing this on our my thing.
Morning, Ben.
So we can get some Geminites up in here.
Nice. Fine Tip Creative Studio.
What's up, Fine Tip?
From Thailand. One of my employees, the sales director, he's in Thailand right now. So all the commerce calls he's been missing, I've been dropping Hangover 2 stuff about him, and nobody's getting it. Like calling it Thailand and missing fingers. Morning. Thumbs up. Thank you, Nelson. Appreciate it. So Daniel's theme song is Eye of the Tiger or Dead and Gone.
Eye of the Tiger is a good one.
Throw down your theme songs of what you'd have if you walked into a room.
Go and get your money, little duffel bag, boy.
I play it right now, but we get a copyright strike.
Oh, I know.
Gotham, Cenobites.
Maybe we should be doing live on Twitch. I think on Twitch you can play music and all that, can't you?
They'll eventually get rid of it, though.
I never understood the copyright strikes on music, right? Like, let me give an example. Let's say we play a 30-second clip of Duffel Bag Boy right now. We would get not only demonetized, but 100% of the monetization would go to those artists. But it's not like we got people here because we said we're going to play that song. They're here already because we're here and we happen to play it. So like, it makes no sense the way that works.
Did you have MySpace back in the day?
Yeah.
MySpace, you could have a theme song when someone went to your page.
Right.
And for those of you that are unaware, MySpace was the predecessor to Facebook. And you had a profile and your likes and dislikes and pictures.
It was encouraged to have a song there.
Yeah, you could choose whatever song you wanted. I mean,
towards the end of it, you could have like 15 songs. It got a little bit too crazy.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that because I lose my ass on the sales to you guys. So that $10, well, actually, as Jem knows, that $6, then it's taxed. So that $3 you just gave is very helpful because YouTube takes the 40%.
Jeez.
Extreme. These are some of the emojis.
Yeah.
All right. This is when you entered.
Yes, sir. What up, Moose? or Moose Day. I guess Moose.
He lives in Europe. I want to say Germany, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I'm right, Moose. Javier showing the gems. Challenge is on. Yeah, some people, I remember that one video you did. We've done a few video parodies of each other, and then a handful of lives. I did a video where I challenged you about the soft banal venom.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And someone was like, "You have no idea who Jem is. He's an excellent reviewer."
Oh, I saw that. You sent it to me.
Yeah,
that's the funny thing about fake beefing, because I've done it with like Comic Tom and stuff, just fucking around, but not everybody gets or is in on the joke, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, man, fuck that guy, Mr. X. He's a piece of shit." Like, it's my friend, man.
Oh, Mr. M. They could call
I remember
you that.
one time I sold you an Electro statue, and instead of doing the review, you just ripped my review. So I saw it on my thing where it's like, this person stole 95% of your video. Do you want to copyright strike it or whatever?
I just found that the other day, like recently, after years.
Some people have taken footage. Has anybody taken any of your reviews, like from a different country or something?
Not my reviews, but a lot of my room tours.
There you go. That's weird, right?
So, what's interesting too is I've noticed that, back to the music part, I try and find on YouTube non-copyrighted, Superman music or Star Wars or whatever. And some of it
use the YouTube library. I've never done that.
Yeah, but it doesn't have actual theme songs like Star Wars. But anyway, I've noticed that when my videos start, I don't have a ton of huge videos, but when they get over 100,000, some of those, I get a lot more copyright strikes of other people claiming it. And I wonder if that's like greed. Oh shit, that one's getting, Yeah,
recently I got hit with a bunch of copyright strikes on some BS. I used to always download like royalty-free stuff or whatever. And then years later, they try to hit me with a strike. I'm like, first of all, nobody's watching that video anymore. It's not like you're going to get the money from the past views. But I just go into the YouTube studio and just mute the song in the background. Like, all right, good try, brother.
CAB here. George Moss. Butterfly Kisses. No, it's a Gwenum and I don't even know what MJ was called when she was Carnageized. I mean, I remember I love that storyline.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I don't know if she had her own name or anything.
Yeah, but she was fully under the control of Carnage. Money wasted collecting. Yeah, my wife would like you.
I disagree with that, though. I think what I've always liked about collectibles, even though you might lose money on some things, it at least maintains some type of value to it. It's not like what I say in that one video, like it's not like blowing hookers where it's like that's never coming back. You know what I mean? At least you got some enjoyment out of it. And for people like us, we got content out of it, and at least it does hold some type of value.
Yeah, I would say, if like say you had to minus the stuff I currently own, if you take all the stuff I bought and sold, which is probably 500 pieces, if you think of like the content I got out of it, I'm probably even right now. Maybe a little bit under. But it means I got to enjoy the hobby, I paid to enjoy the hobby, which I'm fine with.
How many pieces do you still have coming in every month?
Not as many. So you watch every one of my videos, you would know because I do a video at the beginning of every month.
Yeah, but those videos are always like, this might come in this month, but then it doesn't because it's, whatever.
Yeah, well, that's because custom commissioners say this is shipping in June and then it ships in May of the following year.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So I would say I'm probably averaging one a week right now. That's actually coming in. Mm-hmm. So like tomorrow, this, I film stuff way ahead, like a month sometimes. So tomorrow I'm actually filming my December 1st video, and somebody said hi to you, Mrs. X. She said hello. So I already have the list of what statues are supposed to come in December, and there's about a dozen, but to your point, half don't.
And most of those are customs, right?
Half and half. I mean, even Prime 1's kind of unpredictable now. So.
Do you have a favorite custom company right now? Not LL, because I know that you love those XM pieces.
If I had to pick, it'd be ATF.
ATF.
Yeah, they did like those huge quarter scale DC pieces, like that Clayface.
Right.
I have a big Bane coming from them. So
that's cool. Yeah, that Clayface was dope too, man.
Noxus is here.
Noxus.
Moose is in Netherlands. I was close.
You got a lot of international people, man.
That's
also maybe the time of the day, right?
Well, and Americans don't like me. They're like, that guy is cocky. From is that a real place? Copland?
PFA.
I want to see that.
Cascopland.
I know it's not it could be a country. I mean, I'm pretty traveled, so I know pretty well.
Pretty well versed in the travels, huh?
Yeah. We'll save that for later. Shane's here. Good morning, Shane.
What's up?
I know Shane's in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Technically international. Bodies drowning pool. I don't know what you mean. Yeah, your first friend Tom. You know, have you seen The Social Network? The one with Jesse. Is his name Jesse Eisenberg? Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. I don't really remember all the plot points though.
Timberlake was Sean
Zuckerberg. Who was Zuckerberg?
Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
I think that's his name.
I would rewatch that movie.
It's great. It's one of my favorites.
So you know what? Timberlake's a good actor. You know what movie we always liked, and we put our kids on it too. They liked it too. I think it's called like In Time or Out of Time or something like that, where minutes and are currency in the future.
Oh, really? Oh, I've seen previews for that. Yeah, like
Out of Time, I think it is.
Yeah, because you like when you run out of minutes, you die, right?
Right, and like you could live forever. Like humans have found how to like, and so the elite live forever. And like their biggest fear is like slipping in the shower and breaking their neck. Like they, it's like there's no disease or anything like that. But then there's like a poor class, which literally are living day to day. It's almost like living check to check type of shit.
You need a minute. I think I saw part of that. No, he's great in the movie. He really is. Loki 2, season 2, final confusing. Too early for spoilers. So I want to have a 5-minute, unless you're doing a video on it. Are you doing a video on Loki?
I'm not doing a video on it, but I did watch Loki season 2.
All right. So we're going to talk about that. What time is it now? It's about 15 after the hour. We're going to talk about it in 15 minutes. So if you don't want to know, or actually, we'll talk about it in 30 minutes. You good with that?
Yeah, of course. A lot of stuff if I'm confused on it, having like an open discussion with it always helps reel it in because like I have an idea of what happened. We'll talk about it more, but I would love to do a back and forth discourse and see what the chat thinks. So
that's because there's two reasons. One, Jem does this for a living, and I don't. This is a hobby of mine. But two, I'm using StreamYard, which I rarely use. I've used it 3 times this year, and so I can't get it to work with my normal camera. It's just pulling off my iMac, and it keeps adjusting. So
my thing is a lot of trial and error. I'm on a hard line connection down here. I'm using a Sony camera, and I have lighting going on, which I think you do too. But yeah.
Well, for this, it's actually turned off. I have no lighting. It's just the overhead lights.
Okay, yeah. So I kind of thought that. I have my overhead lights on too, but I do have some spotlights going on.
Yeah, and I think I've told you this before, and I did this in one of the videos. One of the things I hate about being, YouTube, having a YouTube channel is you just said, it's trial and error to get the video right, to get the audio right. And when people criticize you, it just pisses me off because there's different levels of criticism. One is you need better lighting. Okay, tell me what to buy and I will buy it.
Well, yeah, all of a sudden you have to become a graphic designer, a video editor.
But telling me the lighting sucks doesn't help me. But if you say, hey, try these lights, like actually the lights I use that aren't on right now are the same one Jem has when I was at his house.
Panel. Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't mind those type of comments, even though they could be like come off as negative. A lot of those things have caused me to step my game up. Like I've had all those comments. Your mic sucks. Your camera sucks. You should edit your videos.
I agree, but give me tell me how to fix it because I don't know. I'm not an audio engineer. Or...
You know what else? What else is funny? You say I do this for a living, and I remember back in the day when I first started, somebody was like, "This video is so unprofessional," and I'm like, "Bitch, I'm not a professional. I'm just doing this as a hobby." Like, but now I do try to be more professional, but not. There was a time when I wasn't.
Jerry's nursing a 2-day hangover. Wow.
That's what happens when you're on the wrong side of 35 and you try to drink at night, right?
Yeah, I can't even do it.
You don't drink anymore? I thought you were a big drinker.
So something you and I can't talk about now, which we'll talk about later,
Yeah.
is I'm on a kick right now. I've been doing 2-a-days. And
2 days sober?
No. I only drank twice this last week, and then I've been doing 2-a-day workouts and counting calories like a madman.
Oh God, I've been there before, man.
Yeah.
Right now I'm off of that kick. I'm not being strict.
Well, I don't want to talk about it now.
Okay,
I want to talk about it later. You know what I'm saying?
Save it.
You get what I'm saying?
You can only talk about certain things at certain times.
You guys
like a dictator. It's a tyrannical government over here on this stream.
Well, on the channel, I think it was on one of your channels, on one of your Instagrams. I saw someone comment, or no, it was a public forum. Someone's like, I bought this statue from Mr. X. It was one I sold in an auction. And someone's like, you must have followed the rules. And then like 80 people.
I did see. I saw that recently.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah, so, somebody posted it in my group, right? Was that what it was?
Possibly.
And
yeah.
I got a statue from Mr. X, and someone commented, "Oh, you must have followed the rules." Yo, you're a fan of I was going to ask you if you were a fan of The Office. Like, who am I?
Huge fan. Yeah, huge.
What
fan.
about Dwight with "Got to learn your rules. If you don't, it'll eat you when you're asleep." Whatever that part was.
Archangel's here. Eric from Luxembourg. So the reason why I have rules when I sell it is because
I know why. You don't got to tell me.
No, I'm not telling you. I'm telling the 86 people watching. Just like you guys, I'm very busy, and it eliminates a lot of back and forth between me and potential buyers. It saves you guys time. It saves me time. That's why. Because when I first started selling, it was a nightmare, man. I mean, and you know that everyone here who sold statues, when you have a buyer who's contacts you and says, I want to buy this, and then they're not responding for 4 or 5 days, but then you have other people coming in, do you screw the original buyer? Or this eliminates all that?
Well, I was going to say, anytime there's rules in place, it's because something happened to enact that rule. So anytime you see a dumb rule like don't piss on the fence, there's a reason why they put that. Somebody messed up somewhere, and now they have to warn everybody, It's
like when you sign contracts for something, whether it's for a company or a house, all these disclaimers are because some asshole sued them for a stupid reason.
Right. So if it sounds stupid, trust me, we know it sounds stupid, but this happened,
Yeah. Couple people. We have Cole. If I'm not giving you shout outs, I am just missing.
Because he hates you.
I usually say that.
That's a big thing in my family, because I live in a house of all females. I have 2 daughters and a wife, and their big thing is, oh, so you hate me? That's because you hate me. It's funny. I catch myself saying it sometimes too. But
shit, Stu, the biggest Superman collector in the world, from England.
Stuart Murray, what's the best 1/3 scale Superman statue? Prime 1 Hush or Legendary Beast?
He's been saying the legendary. I see a lot of his posts. He's been saying that's going to beat it.
I've seen good criticisms about Superman Hush not really embodying the true essence of Superman, being kind of on the evil side. But I like pissed off Superman. I was always into that.
I agree. I mean, he's the representation of truth, justice, and the American way, but he has emotions.
Right.
OBS, it's interesting you say that.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right. Yes, for sure. Again, thank you to all the vets. Yesterday was Veterans Day. We should celebrate them more than once a year. You know what's interesting is, I fly every week, and I get priority boarding, but military if you're military, you get before me, which I think is fantastic.
I think it's really the same group, but you kind of let them go first, right?
Yeah. And one airport, actually DTW, Detroit, they let first responders board first, which I think is fantastic.
That's dope.
Loki stories. Yep. Yeah. Again, if you're watching, guys, get in your content now, because maybe we should do Loki after the final announcement.
Whatever you want to do, man.
So people will stay on and they can jump off if they don't want to hear the Loki stuff.
Yeah. Although I feel like if you haven't watched Loki by now, did you really plan to watch it?
I just watched the 3 episodes yesterday. I just got done yesterday. So
I guess it did just come out. What is today? Sunday? It did just come out. Like Thursday?
Thursday. No, I'm not going to watch it.
Me neither.
You're seeing mixed reviews. So
it just, it was just one of those ones where they're trying to catch different demos. It doesn't seem like it was intended for me. So I'm just going to respect that and not watch it.
Besides, we can't trust this guy. He has a Cowboys profile. My wife just laughed. I'm happy for the Cowboys this year. I bet on a lot of games. I've been betting on the Cowboys almost every game. So
I don't follow sports.
your thoughts on Prime One Blitzway Ellen Ripley?
Are you a fan of Prime One Blitzway collabs in general?
It's hit and miss.
Right.
It's total hit and miss. Some are fantastic. The Joaquin Phoenix Joker was 10 out of 10. The Heath Ledger Joker was a joke. So I think they didn't get the likeness, but we have no other statues to compare it to. But the problem is they made her quarter scale when 90% of alien pieces are third scale. So I think that's a miss.
Personally, I would much rather have a regular Prime One piece any day of the week than a Prime One Blitzway piece.
Yeah, we can't say American way because don't even get us started. That's a good topic, Jim.
I'm down for that.
He has all 3 versions of Hush, and he loves it, but he has to admit the portraits aren't 100%. I'll wait till he has all 3. So when I said the biggest Superman collector, if you guys are unfamiliar, Stu has a channel. He posts a lot of the Instagram and Facebook posts. He has every Superman statue you can imagine. And
I'll tell you this, though. Dope. I think the fabric cape Superman Hush is nowhere near the sculpted cape version. I feel like I would say Legendary Beast over the fabric cape all day and night. I think the sculpted cape Superman Hush, though, is the top dog.
So I have the fabric cape.
I know you do.
The first time I saw the sculpted was at your house in person.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you. It's a next level. I'm not.
It's a different.
I agree.
It makes me want to sell my Cyborg Superman because that has a fabric cape. Just how much it adds to it, you know.
So I just sold my Cyborg Superman. I lost so much money.
How much did you sell it for?
It was like 900 shipped.
And it's 2 boxes?
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was 300 shipping.
Thank God for pirate ship, but still, right?
Yeah, but still. Yeah. Zeke the Wise.
What up?
Chase. What's up, y'all?
Block my boy Office Arcade. What's up, brother? So Office Arcade, I feel like we met through the Arcade 1-Up community when that was a big thing, right? And he's going back and picking up a lot of older statues. So I see him on like my older videos commenting and like, yo, should I get this one? I think he was looking at like the Logan premium format recently, but it's fun to see him. You know, we've all done that. When you first kind of get into statues, you start going through the backlog and buying up a bunch of shit. But I told him, hey, man, you're in the best position to do that. It's a buyer's market right now for old pieces.
So I have sold personally probably over $10,000 worth of statues to him. And,
really?
And I remember one time my entire pickup bed was full. But here's the cool part. He won one of my big giveaways.
That's dope.
After he'd bought those statues. So it's like, dope. To me, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sideshow's Green Lantern.
Mr. X hates Sideshow.
Well, yeah. Are they watching right now, Jen? Or Mr. Mint?
They're always watching. No, we saw a tease. I'm interested to see the full reveal. I plan to make a reaction video to it. I think it's cool that they're making a Hal Jordan. Their John Stewart was great, I thought. But have they ever made I think back in the day they probably made a Green Lantern.
Yeah, right? There was an old one that's not the best.
Yeah.
So I need a good quarter scale Hal Jordan because I got a custom Sinestro and then I have an Atrocitus coming in. So all in quarter scale.
So did you not get the Prime 1 Green Lantern and Sinestro?
No, I did buy them, but they were shipped to someone else's house.
What?
Yeah, kind of nuts, huh?
Did you make a video about that?
No, how Prime 1 only accepts PayPal, and there's someone I know very closely who doesn't have a PayPal, so he uses my
that's
PayPal
what you're talking about.
It was
so
you.
Why did you not buy them? Because of space?
Well, yeah. I'm sticking mostly to in 1/3 DC. I can't go outside like traditional Batman, and then of course I got Superman and Wonder Woman, but that's it.
Yeah, but then you got the Dark Knight's metal line is huge space. Well, so you got the Devastator coming in though, or?
Yeah, I have all that coming in, and then when Murder Machine comes up, because they tease that. Yeah. You were selling some of your Dark Knight metal, weren't you?
I sold them all. I sold them all because it was too cluttered. I think I'm gonna really just have one big space per kind of like cube, even though they're not cubes.
Yeah.
but it was cluttered and everything, and it was so DC heavy because Marvel 1/3 scale pieces, you got PCS and Legendary Beast. They just can't keep up with the output that Prime One has been doing 1/3 scale DC for years. So I thought, you know what? I got Legendary Beast, Hulk coming in. I got the Jack Kirby one, which I guess is not shipping yet. You got the modern one.
No, that wasn't mine. If you watch the video, like you watch all my videos, you would know I was reviewing it for Joe. But
I saw the thumbnail and I just
I know I could tell you didn't watch it. Have you guys ever considered starting your own company? Stay tuned till later in the video.
Yeah.
X was a Cowboys fan. They did print way too many of them. Yeah, they got a edition size. That Joaquin only has 50% value now. I agree with that. New Zealand, Christchurch Werewolf. That's the greatest name in the world.
International stream, man.
I picked up a custom fabric with
the custom fabric that just lays flat. Like I was gonna get one for the black suit Superman Hush. I really liked it, but then I ended up not doing it. But
yeah, DMD made a bunch of those. Good morning, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
What's the best Superman versus Flash statue? I don't even know if there is one. Is there?
Yeah, that's kind of we're going niche right there, right? Are you collecting also the Dark Knights, the dark metal Batman? No. You had a custom Superman, right?
I did. Yeah, we did that as a giveaway. I think that's one off Arcade One, actually.
What's that day one?
Oh, so I had two of them. I had a custom quarter scale, that Office Arcade One, and I have the 1/3 Prime One, but that's actually, spoiler alert, I boxed that up yesterday, so it's in the for sale video at the end of the month.
And you never got the Batman and Wonder Woman never shipped or anything, never came out yet, right?
No, correct.
And then what about like Batman on bike? Is that Prime One or XM? I think maybe.
That's XM, I think.
They made so many. So what is it? Was there oversaturation in our hobby, like at the tail end of the pandemic?
What caused it?
Well, there definitely is oversaturation, it seems, with a lot more companies.
So I think it's a combination of 4 or 5 things. And number one is, to your point, there's so many choices of stuff to buy now because not only are there a lot more companies out there, but there's a lot more that each company is producing. I mean, look how many licenses Prime One Studio has. I mean, they probably own 80, 90, probably more than that.
Yeah, so I feel like DC kind of stretched out who can have their license. They give their license to a lot of companies now, where it used to be exclusive to Sideshow.
2, I think shipping is a major reason that it's gone down. I mean, we used to get giant statues shipped for $90.
$90. I remember Prime One Venom from Sideshow, $100 flat. It was like a flat rate. Like if it hit a certain thing, they'll just flat rate you $100. So I don't know if there was some kind of change in their relationship or if it was just UPS in general that was like, you know what, screw all the deals we're giving you guys.
Well, what's funny too, think about any shipping company. They hit gold when the pandemic hit.
Right. Because did it cost them more? I mean, they started charging more. Yeah.
I mean, and then the third part is the economy. I mean, it's cost of materials. People,
I think the statue companies priced out the middle class because, first of all, stimmies were running wild during the pandemic. So everybody had a little bit of disposable income, which led to inflation, which led to, and then no stimmies. So like now everything costs more and we're not having the same money coming in, right? So that's a fact.
I remember we got a check for $4,900 and I worked throughout the pandemic. Thankfully, we were blessed and it didn't affect us at all from a financial standpoint. But I told my wife, I was like, they need to take this money and give it to like people who are career chefs or career waiters who can't work right now.
So I was in the same boat. I was working a regular job, filed taxes like a regular person. I was getting like every month I was getting a check and I was like, yo, I don't even need it, but I'm not gonna, complain. But shit was crazy, man.
Being a Cowboys fan is like, it's a complicated relationship.
Yeah, that's funny because I moved from Texas. So there's a lot of Cowboys fans where I was at, obviously. But there's like either you're a diehard Cowboys fan or you absolutely hate the Cowboys. There's like no in between whatsoever.
I love the carpet.
Appreciate it.
I need to get the Joker ones. I'm a broke bitch, but I wish I had DC had more statues.
Nah,
There's a lot of DC statues
yeah, I was
out
gonna
there.
say. But yeah, I don't agree with that statement.
Yeah, like this. Look at that Office Arcade. I remember he told me this. I think in a comment in the video, he got the Joker Dragon for $1,000 shipped.
What was that? A $2,500 piece out the door with shipping and shit?
It was over 2 with the shipping. Yeah. All right. Morning, guys. The King of Statues in the house from Singapore. The Kings of Statues.
Shout out to Singapore, man. I wish I could go there one day.
Anymore. I would give Art Collector the King of Statue title.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hell yeah.
He's a good dude too.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah.
Are you going to still do Marvel's Spider-Man 2?
Yes.
You're still streaming it, aren't you?
Yeah, I was thinking about streaming it for a few hours today, man, because I've only been playing it while streaming. Like I haven't done any like just by myself. So we're gonna get that platinum trophy together, yo.
New Zealand.
Mm.
DC
Yeah.
made a.
But I never followed really that DC Direct and stuff. Like I don't know if it wasn't like the big companies we collect, it wasn't really on my radar.
Does it surprise you Stu knew? So of course he knew.
No. When you clicked it, I was like, of course he knew.
Every Superman statue. Prime 1/3 guts and Berserker armor. I'm on the fence.
I think it's dope as hell.
Yeah, do you remember the video you made of why I sold my Berserker pieces? And
yes.
I think my comment is the most liked because I was like, I promise you're going to regret it.
So do you think I regret it?
I don't think you regret selling anything, but
I've always said that from the jump. Like once I'm ready to move on for something, I don't really have regrets like that. It's just kind of like I enjoyed it. I don't really have the space for it now, even though I have space to have like 12 huge Prime 1 Berserk pieces wouldn't really fit in here, you know?
Yeah.
What about you? Did you keep it?
I'm not a huge fan of DBZ stuff anymore, so
did you keep your Berserk stuff?
I kept like the God Hand, Skull Knight, Zod, Femto, which one could argue they're part of the God Hand, Casca, and Guts, and that's it. I'm done.
Which
like the main?
Which Guts? The Black Swordsman Guts?
The bloody version. Remember?
Oh, the Nightmare one. That was the first one you had.
Yeah. I remember you tried to buy it off me a long time ago.
Oh, shout out to Shaft Serious. Oh, always good for a hot take. That's why they're giving out the license.
They need that money. Yeah, they do. Mr. X and Gem Mint Rock. When are we going to start getting some good Marvel movies? It's been a while. It's been a long while.
Deadpool 3. I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, that's true. Number 1 and 2 were great.
I think it's interesting how Deadpool 3 is going to be the first Deadpool movie in the MCU.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Do you think that... Hey, man, we haven't lost in 4 weeks. The Broncos have not lost in 4 weeks. And I'm counting today because they play Monday night. So, and they had a bye week. So it's stretching it a little bit, but they haven't lost in 4 weeks. I think they're going to use Deadpool 3 to truly bring in the X-Men. I mean, we all know obviously that Hugh Jackman's in it, but I think that'll be the crossover event.
Also, they they started to try to tease X-Men with like the Ms. Marvel show, and then they may or may have not tried to tease it in a recent movie.
Oh, did you watch? I haven't watched the trailer, the after trailer.
Yeah,
teaser.
I've seen it. Yeah.
I haven't, so we won't say anything if you haven't.
Can we give spoilers on the Marvels? I mean, it's kind of like opening weekend, I guess, right?
No, because I'm gonna wait till it streams. So, XM Cable, that was a great statue. You had that, didn't you, Jim?
Yeah. Which one? They made 2 though.
Oh yeah, the one where you had Hope. That one looked pretty good too.
No, hell yeah. Well, the first one was good, but the first one I feel like, it was early on and it was a great sculpt. Paint was a little dull, right? Kind of like a muted palette on him. But the one with Hope is cool because you could display with or without her, and you can have a badass Cable, or you can have him as a Messiah Complex era.
What statue would you cheat on your wife on? From?
And you could get any statue you want. So it's a tough.
Well, I think most people don't. I think you and we know the dynamics between us and our spouses pretty well. Yeah. Now, if it was a life-size Batmobile, maybe. Not a statue.
Life-size replicas. You
Oh yeah, because he's over in Thailand. Yeah,
I was going to say it's in Thailand, right?
Yep. Exactly $100.
Yeah, $100 ship.
Pandemic is over, but the virus is still around on the cost of living, so that makes it difficult to splurge for sure. I would visit him in a second. So actually, I was so stoked. My wife and I, it's our 20th anniversary coming up, and we booked a killer trip. It did London, Paris, Rome, Greece, Jerusalem, Cairo, Turkey.
When is this?
Ephesus. Well, hang on.
I was gonna say, there's no way you're doing that now.
Yeah, our travel agent emailed us a week ago and said you can't go.
No.
So, so we're looking at alternatives, and we want to do something exotic, whether it's Thailand or, the problem is when you live in the States or when you live anywhere. So, like, if you live, in Asia and you're going to travel to the U.S., you don't go to just one place. You hit up New York and L.A. and same thing when you go overseas. You don't want to go to just, you don't want to be traveling for 36 hours to visit one city. You want to hit up multiple. So we're trying to figure that out right now, actually. So you got rid of the last.
So first of all, shout out to Vinny Tightline. I know him in person. I posted the last Ronin for sale. It didn't sell, so I still own it. And my justification was, okay, I'm trying to space things out a little bit more. It's a quarter scale piece. Yeah, it could pair with the animated series line, but it's not really a part of that. And then I'm collecting the 1/3 scale line. So I kind of looked at it like, I don't really need this piece. It's super cool, but it's very much to me like a standalone piece, like a one-off. So I listed it. No bites on it, though. So right now I'm holding on to it.
That's one of my favorite, and I bought it because I saw it at your house.
It's a great looking piece. I mean, I don't mind keeping it, to be honest. I'm definitely not going to sell it for $1,000 or some shit like that.
Problem is, I want the slab next to it, but the slab goes for $1,500 to $2,500.
There's some controversy behind that slab too, man.
Really? I didn't even know that.
I don't know if we should even get into it, to be honest.
Jem, what do you think about Flankster?
I think I learned my lesson about talking about other people unless they're here with me.
Okay.
Art's I'll just leave it at that.
Art's fantastic.
We're talking about art though, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on. Yeah. Did you sell that big? No, I didn't, man. I got to figure out what to do with it. I have to. I love it. It's still in Mrs. X's room. So
what does she have? Like an office room that you gave her or something? Or
no, we have multiple because you've never visited. We have multiple like family rooms. So I have mine that has like, and you've seen mine on tours before. It has sports stuff, autographed sports memorabilia in it. And then it's in hers. It won't fit through the door. So we have plans. Hopefully by the end of next year, we're going to redo the door to the basement. It's going to be a hidden door, like a fingerprint or something like that. It's like a bookshelf and then it'll open. But while they're doing construction on that, because they'll have to redo the frame, we'll get it downstairs. But the only problem is it'll be stuck down here forever.
Real quick, he meant to put Last Ronin. He's talking about the TMN.
Yeah.
Hold on, I was going to say something to you. Yeah, we have common area rooms like that as well. The front room, we still don't have any furniture in it. It's still empty.
I remember that. When I got
and then we have a sunroom in the back that Fee kind of has taken over as her sewing room. Although we have a whole office room for her, which she just packs all her material in because she's a thrifter, but she thrifts with like the intention to repurpose them later. So she's got like material for days, graphic tees, all types of shit.
Definitely. This is a good topic. So,
well, I made a whole video on this. Like, I read the Variety article and like, yeah, not to get political too, but it's like, make stuff that the fans of the content want to see. Like, you're trying to like grab this other audience that's not interested in it, or you're trying to make them interested. But like, what about the currently interested group? You know what I'm saying?
This is what I would say. If you take a look at people that don't have what I would call a traditional lifestyle, whether it's your sexual preference or your gender identity or whatever that looks like, and you take them as a percent of the population. So like let's say that people who identify as not the gender they were born with is,
you're really going political.
No. Say it's 3%. I don't know what it is, but say it's 3% of the population. Okay, that's fine. Let's make sure they're represented, but they shouldn't be 50% of the pop culture. That's what I'm saying.
No, I can see that.
And
I would put myself in that category of what would you say it was called? Unconventional lifestyle. Just because I'm full of tattoos.
I would say non-traditional. Yeah,
I do YouTube for a living. Like, I smoke weed, so it's like I get that too. But yeah, I look at it more like you wouldn't try to make the Barbie movie geared towards dudes and make it make her a construction worker or something. Like, you wouldn't do that. So like, why why would you do that with other properties?
Yeah, it's being forced when it shouldn't be. It's okay if it happens naturally. So, interesting. When I was at your house, how this came up on my feed the other night, a few weeks ago. Sick Mansion was doing a live, and we jumped on.
Yeah.
And I was spaced out. You know why I was spaced out. We ain't gonna say it out loud on here, but I
couldn't imagine why.
Yeah, I was just like, damn, you can tell. Oh, if you guys come to Thailand, absolutely, Daniel. You'll know we'll connect.
Yeah, that's what I was answering. Yeah.
All right, funny. I was about to hit Jem about a live today.
He is one of the few that has been here in person as well.
Oh, very cool.
When you were here, though, I don't think this room was done, right?
Yeah, you had the carpet, but they were, but they weren't around the room. You had them like some on each step. But you had some other shit in there. I don't know if you watched my channel. We could go back and watch the tour of it.
I watched that video.
I like how you started.
I remember when I used to ask you back in the day, like, why don't you collect keys and shit? And you were like, I'm just not into it. And then they got you.
Yeah, it does. The artwork is amazing. What happened? You run out of room to figure collect. Why'd I stop? I didn't really stop, but
I love how he says he stopped. Yeah, this guy's retired. Like, I'm trying to give a good example.
It's a hobby, and it gets old, and I got to the point where and Jem can appreciate this, and I've talked about this before, but you stop enjoying the hobby because, okay, I got a new statue. It's not exciting. I got a new statue. I have to do a YouTube video, and I don't have time. And, I'm involved in multiple companies, and I have a family of 5, and my kids are in sports, and, and I'm huge into sports, so it's a time constraint thing. It's time to move on to another chapter of my life. This is always going to be a part of my life. It's just not going to be as big of a chapter. True that. Those movies were awesome.
PCS, he's talking about, yeah.
Yeah, PCS has stepped up their game.
I'm a huge fan of PCS, man. The amount of licenses they get. I mean, I got a 1/3 scale Eon Flux from them. Like, who the hell would have ever seen that happening? So I wish they would get more love, man. I wish their pieces, or I hope they eventually become sought after, appreciate on the aftermarket type of stuff, because they do never have, right? Well, even in the old days, right? I mean, there was hype a little bit around like 1/3 scale Akuma back in the day,
but not. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of anything from PCS that increased in value.
Right. What PCS pieces have hit Grail status? And I feel like they should.
I think the Last Ronin should.
Last Ronin should, right?
Their Pumpkinhead that Franco did, it's not as good as Sideshow's, but Sideshow they only made like 150. So, and it's so old.
I'm trying to think of what other things, man. Like
they haven't had any.
They were really grounded with that Gamerverse license, right? Like, people didn't really like that.
I think he means like. I don't think he's telling you need a life. I mean, you need a life like.
The thing is, it's like, I don't know where I would put it, because if I put it somewhere in the main room, it's going to be covering books, or it's going to be out of a case in front of other statues. I guess I could put it kind of where I have arcade 1-ups out there right now, but I've never really seen a life-size statue that had high quality that I wanted to have. Like, I don't know. They always seem cheap to me.
Yeah, like, I have one life-size Iron Man and a few more coming in. The quality is not as good as like a 1/4 or 1/3 scale.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. It felt like they had to dumb down the quality.
It's so impressive, though. Like, when people come down here, they go right to that.
Do you always walk down there and kind of go, like, you feel like you see, like, you feel like it's somebody?
I did for about 6 months, because that part of the basement is usually dark.
Yeah.
Because here's the weird thing with Iron Man. the ink or the white lights I have above, they make his eyes shine. It's almost like glow in the dark, so you'll see the eyes over there, even when the lights are off.
I like life-size bust though. I still got the Queen Studios Venom and Carnage. I got the PCS Carnage coming in. I'm crazy excited to see what they do with the fine art life-size bust for like TMNT, for Transformers, let alone their Venom.
Especially
They're going
if they
to
do
do their
something like
Spider-Man.
that. Very
Right.
cool comment. Thanks, Middle Earth Collector. Jem, what you say to your critics that you don't read enough Omnibus?
You know, I think it's kind of like what you said. Like, sometimes you're into something a lot, you're really passionate about it, and then sometimes you're not. Like right now, I don't feel like sitting down reading Omnis. But a lot of people, like I've done Omnibus reviews recently, but people just don't really seem interested in it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree, Pete. So remember, if you're Silver Surfer is the majority of what I read growing up. Not the majority, but a good portion. And so I knew Thanos left and right. And it's
well, the thing is, in the comics, he was really simping for death. Like they changed that aspect out of it. That would have kind of looked a little ridiculous, I feel like, unless they made it dark. If they made it really dark.
That's true. Was pretty dark.
Yeah, the 1/3 scale Goro, you can't buy that for cheap, right? No one's getting off of that. But even though that's old ownership, the Akuma bust is great too, man. I
need to look up the record of the Lakers. No, I don't. All right. I need the life-size statue of you. That'd be creepy.
You would love it.
If anyone had a life-size statue of someone else. Oh, 5:50 a.m. Go to work. Yeah, it's Monday there. It's already Monday.
Oh yeah, right.
In New Zealand. Yeah,
they
so
have like
what's interesting, Gotham, like we did this interview, or we didn't do an interview, but when I went to the Queen Studios event in Vegas, John and the owner of Queen Studios, I can't remember his name. They came back to our suite each night, the couple nights, so we would just grill the shit out of them. And he said that, and this is specific to them and Disney will not allow female life-size busts because they feel it would be inappropriate because the majority of collectors for life-size busts are male. That's all they said, and they were being very politically correct, but I would say that's probably pretty accurate.
But I think that's kind of weird because first of all, you have Sideshow does life-size busts like Harley Quinn. Then you have Infinity Studios. What's that?
That's Warner Brothers. So Warner Brothers don't care, but he said life-size statue.
Well, they also have NECA does life-size stuff, but it's made out of like rubber. But they had like a life-size Harley Quinn.
I didn't even know that.
It was from the Arkham games.
Let's see here. Thank you, Jem. Entire Omni collection he'll be reading when he retires. That's a perfect time.
That's funny because that's something that I always said. Like, listen, the books are on the shelves. They ain't going nowhere. When all this is said and done, we can kick back and read all we want,
Oh, yeah. Like, what is he for triple doubles? Yeah, he's below Jokic now, who's played 10 years less than him, I think.
Last week, I got a triple double.
All right. Thirsty boys be strapping flashlights on them. All right. So what I want to do now, I want to do two things. One, Jem and I are going to make an announcement, and then we're going to talk about Loki. So if you haven't seen stick around for the announcement. If you haven't seen the season finale of Loki, drop off after the announcement if you want it to be a surprise. But so make sure, first of all, to stay tuned. Jem is going to do a live this Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be on that. And if you haven't noticed, we're trying to dodge topics today. We're trying not to talk too much. And the reason for that is we have a big announcement we've been teasing in Instagram and Facebook and even you.
Why don't you deselect this comment for the announcement?
Oh, shit. I didn't even read the comment. I just did now. Oh, that's awesome. So anyway, we have something new starting on December 15th called Gem X. And that's all I'm going to say about the announcement. For more, make sure to stay tuned Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Gem Mint's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So
just
it's an announcement of an announcement.
Well, and also stay tuned to both of our social medias, either one, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
we're posting a few teasers on there as well. But it's a joint collaboration, and that's what we're gonna say.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, we're gonna do something together. We'll talk more about it on my stream on Friday. I think it's at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, something big, not just like a one-time deal. So
yeah. I think a couple people have been piecing things together, but we'll just leave it at that.
Yep. All right. So with that, we are about to talk about Loki. If you don't want spoilers, drop off now. Thanks for tuning in. But we'll kind of give our opinions on it. So with that, why don't you give a summary of what happened the last episode, or the last few, really 2 episodes that led up to it, if they haven't seen it but they want to stay on.
All right, let me see. I get my thoughts together. I don't really have anything planned. I'm trying to think back on the show. So throughout the series, Loki is time slipping, right? He's like being ripped in and out and going back and forth throughout time, and he's not able to control it. But once he's able to control it, now help me out if I'm wrong here, he kind of figures out that he has the power. He's the god of stories, so he's able to really kind of shape everything as he sees fit. So it's not so much that he's stuck in the TVA or stuck in this time loop. He really has the power. It sounds like He-Man. And essentially, they're not able to fix the loom that's holding the multiverse together. Kang's contraption has this failsafe that he's not going to allow them to control the time stream. So Loki figures out that he essentially has to sacrifice himself to be the keeper of time. He physically grabs all the strands of time, finally gets his throne that he's kind of wanted since we first seen him in Thor 1. There's a throne waiting for him, and it comes at a time where he no longer wants a throne. But now he takes this responsibility to basically become the world tree. He's holding the multiverse together, and he's essentially, the god of stories. And there's another layer to it as well, with him being like kind of all green. He's all green, and there's some other characters that have kind of embodied the Infinity Stones, right? Like you have Scarlet Witch, which is like the embodiment of reality, and now you have Loki, which is the embodiment of time. And then you even have, I think it's is it Monica Rambeau with the embodiment of the Space Stone, I think it is. So I don't know if I'm 100% right on that. I think us talking through it will probably get that a little bit tighter.
Yeah, and what spawned this conversation is somebody commented earlier, I didn't understand it because it was hard to understand, and I think they do that purposefully for better receptibility, and then also for setting up. Now they can set up whatever the hell they want to. They can do a season 3 or not. Loki can be done in the MCU or he cannot. So, and maybe they. I think he
said that it is done. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but now they're even teasing RDJ might come back too. So I mean, they left it open. Yeah, so I think it was cool because they made so many throwbacks to he's you've seen all the memes. He's burdened for what is
Glorious Purpose, which was the name of the season finale, which is also the name of the first episode for season 1.
And then also the fact that he even mentioned, I think it was in the 5th or 6th episode, how his brother was cocky in Thor 1, and then he was banished and he came back a different person, and it's because he came back as a true, I don't want to say selfless, but for others. And that's what Loki essentially turned into. He didn't become the king or sit on his throne at the end of the season 6 or episode 6 because he wanted to. He did it because he wanted to save everybody. So he sacrificed himself.
He used to want the throne in order to rule over all because he felt like he was better than them. But his arc led him to where he didn't even want the throne anymore, but he took it, sacrificing his existence in order to basically save all of these people in all these timelines.
Yep. So what do you think overall of, both seasons?
I think they're the strongest Disney Plus MCU shows. I would
agree.
And that's the problem with MCU villains. It's like, if you're a good enough villain, you live long enough to see yourself become the hero. You know what I mean? Like, that's why it's hard. You have throwaway villains, like, for example, the one from the Marvels, which is actually his wife, Tom Hiddleston's wife. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
The villain from the Marvels, who they didn't even really promote as being in the movie, I feel like, until the last trailer. But characters like her or Yellow Jacket or these other kind of throwaway villains. But you have good villains like, Thanos, who didn't really become good, but I
It
don't
was a
know. He kind of had
popular
a
villain.
noble cause.
Popular.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I think the show, I really dug the show. I loved Owen Wilson, the Mobius character I liked. But yeah, what did you think? You watched both seasons, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was the best. I mean, it's nothing compared to, phase 3. That was the big phase, right?
Yeah, the end with Endgame. I think
Yeah,
Infinity War is the peak. Endgame was
yeah.
the epilogue that wasn't as good as Infinity War. I think the multiverse ruined it, man. I think, like how you said, now anything could happen. Yeah, they could bring our DJ back. He could be from another multiverse. He could be AI. It's just, it doesn't feel as grounded as it once was. Like, think about when Avengers came out, and we're old enough, right, to where we saw all these movies come out in the theaters, and it was like, holy shit, they have these 4 franchises that they're now all combining into one movie, and it was so, realistic feeling. And even when you went to Infinity War, yeah, now we're going into Marvel Cosmic, but it still felt real. But now the multiverse, you look at movies like Doctor Strange 2, and just anything could happen. And it's just, but when anything could happen, nothing matters. So who cares?
And not only were they so grounded, but they were so clever. There were so many hidden things.
Yeah.
That, like, from that, they had planned these movies like 10 years in advance. I mean, just how they were gonna, but they could still adjust
to that point. You always felt like, holy shit, Feige had this vision, they executed it, and they killed it. But now we, even as fans, can see they don't have a clear path. Yeah, we'll do Kang. You know what? Maybe we'll scrap Kang and do Doom. It's like, what? How do you not have a clear-cut vision like you had when you first started this? It's like you let too many cooks in the kitchen, is what it feels like.
What I don't understand is what, like, you target Kang as a villain, right? That eliminates your audience right there.
Right.
I mean, the MCU, the original phase, has brought in so many non-comic people to love and enjoy that stuff.
Right.
But Kang isn't going to bring them in. Doctor Doom would. More non-comic people know who Doctor Doom is than Kang.
I feel like Doctor Doom, people already know Doom from the Fantastic Four movies, and I feel like they would have been like, oh, casual people would have said, oh shit, we got Doctor Doom again. I think they had to go with the Galactus threat. That's the only character with enough like common, casual fans know. Casual fans knew Thanos. Although a lot of them at the time were like, who's that purple guy at the end of Avengers? They didn't even really know. But most people know the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos. They had to go Galactus. And I think it would have worked with Galactus as a big looming threat. He's coming. They should have hyped up the Galactus is coming for many movies like Thanos. And then maybe, give us Doom as kind of like the new Loki, where he's in multiple movies. He's a big threat. But still, none of this matters because Galactus is coming, and they still could do that. But now they're already fucking around talking about, they said Galactus Herald is going to be a female. Everybody freaked out. But most of us were like, okay, maybe it's Frankie Ray Nova. Now they're coming out saying, no. We're going to make Silver Surfer female. It's like, bro, are y'all learning anything? Have y'all learned from South Park or not? Like, what are you guys doing over there?
So I think that, don't get me wrong, I think there was a lot of good supporting cast in the Loki. Obviously Owen Wilson is fantastic, and Short Round is amazing, Obi. But Tom Hiddleston made Loki. I mean,
yeah. Well, he was great.
It wouldn't have been good if it wasn't him.
He was great ever since Thor and Avengers 1. He was the main villain for Avengers 1. And look how they did it. He was the main villain, and then Thanos was teased. They should have copied that same kind of formula with Doom and Galactus.
Tom's wife did a good job in the Marvels.
Yeah, I don't actually did a good job, but it's going to be right up there with who's the character from Ant-Man and Wasp 2? The Ghost character or Yellow Jacket or like these.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Even Ronan the Accuser, but I liked him kind of as a lackey for Thanos. That was kind of a good build-up for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they just, because they played the Guardians as humorous as they did, which I enjoyed. I thought all the Guardians movies were great. Ronan seemed like a clown sometimes, which I hated because he was
especially at the end of the first movie, right? But Guardians of the Galaxy was a blessing and a curse for me. I think it was amazing. The 3 movies, I like them all. But I think they got Marvel too cocky where, we can just grab anybody and make a hit. We could do a movie on the Eternals and it's going to be a hit, or Shang-Chi and it's going to be a hit. We could do anything. But it's like, nah, man, like that worked. They captured the lightning in a bottle with that Guardians movie, and I think a lot of it had to do with James Gunn. Even those trailers, they came through. They had the right music. They had great actors. Look at what's her name, Zoe. What's her? I don't know her last name. She's in two.
Oh no, that's the other Zoe.
Yeah, you're thinking about Catwoman, I think, right? She's in
No,
$2 billion
that's
movies
Kravitz.
with Avatar and Guardians. Console fanboy in the house. What's up?
I actually gave away my Goro statue as a giveaway.
Not the 1/3 scale.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're crazy, man. That's a crazy piece. Damn. What you gave it away for? What, a subscriber milestone?
Yeah, I think it was 20,000. I think it was 20,000.
That we were talking about it earlier, and this is pre-Ant Adams, but that's kind of like one of the few PCS grails that did appreciate on the aftermarket.
True that.
Or there'll be Eternals too. I would hope not at this point.
Yeah, if they made Galactus a woman or Blade. But yeah, so overall, I think they ended it well. Because that's a hard to your point, when anything can happen, and especially when you talk about manipulating time and multiverses, how do you end that? I think they ended it well.
Yeah. First of all, the scene and the cinematics of that scene, I was like glued to the screen. I was like, because a lot of times I'm on my phone, but I was like, man, this is a great scene, man. And again, combined with the character development on Loki and the fact that I haven't watched any of those like new Rockstar video breakdowns on it. Maybe I should, because there's other ties to like his influence now that he's been able to go through all these events. Has he influenced the outcome of them in some way? I have to look more into it though.
So again, this is about the Marvels, which we both of us haven't seen.
Yeah, I think her name is Dar-Ben or something, which was a gender swap too for the original character. But I got to be honest, even I probably am more of a comic fan than most people. I didn't know who that character was. That wasn't a character I was familiar with to begin with.
Hey, gender swapping, good topic.
Yeah, we could.
Not today. Not today. Yeah, sorry, man. I appreciate the $5 super chat, but can't help
Console fanboy, he makes it rain on every live stream.
KFB does?
Yeah.
Good guy. But yeah, so Princess, I don't even know.
Yeah.
So hey, I was just giving you shit, Javier, about the Cowboys stuff. Like I said, I'm rooting for him this year. Not as much, because I know my Broncos ain't gonna win shit, but yeah, hey, PCS still for sale, and Michael, $1,100 if you want to fly to Thailand.
But what he says, the PCS group stat, what is that he's talking about?
Goro.
Oh, is he? Okay. Oh yeah, Goro. Okay.
I was leaning too much to comedy style things. I didn't think Thor.
So hold on, Daniel. How much does it cost to ship that from there to here? Because that's a good thing.
KFB, reach out to Daniel.
I might reach out to his ass. fuck console fanboy.
Oh yeah, you're an MK fan.
Yeah. All
right. Too much on the comedy side. All right. I love Thor Ragnarok. I'm one of those.
I was a fan too. And there that movie caused a lot of divide. Now Thor: Love and Thunder, I can see.
It was horrible. I hated that movie.
Yeah, it was whack. Hell yeah, it was whack as hell.
Yeah, Bale. But Love and
Thunder, Ragnarok, I liked it because I liked getting the Gladiator Hulk story kind of intertwined in that.
Yeah. Nope, I agree. Although it wasn't true. All right, so appreciate everyone watching. Again, you want more of Mr. M, Mr. Mint, and Mr. X Friday night, Gem Mint's channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to elaborate on the announcement as well as shoot the shit on some other stuff.
Yeah.
He's pissed you're going to try and steal that Goro statue. As long as KC don't win. They didn't. I watched them not win. Thanks.
Third Eye. That's crazy.
All right. So we are ending the stream. Take care, guys.
Peace.